Tape www.vidéo au Senegal.com. À école au Sénégal, c'est facile, tu n'as qu'à te connecter. Tape école au Sénégal, les leçons sont beaucoup plus détaillées.
So we're talking about healthcare. What are some of the professions when you go to the hospital, for example? When you go to a hospital, you get into an ambulance. So what do you see as far as healthcare is concerned, some of the people that you meet there? Are you able to identify them in English? So you have a doctor, of course. We have specialists, because in the medical field, dans le corps médical, il y a les spécialistes et les généralistes. So a generalist would just be a normal doctor, an internal doctor, okay? And then il y a les spécialistes par rapport à ce qu'on a. So they're specialists depending on what the problem is. For example, if you have an eye problem, for example, you want to go to an ophthalmologist, or an ophthalmologist. Ophthalmologist, c'est quelqu'un qui s'occupe des yeux. An optician, c'est quelqu'un qui gère les lunettes et tout. Okay, so you have an ophthalmologist, you have an optician that handles, qui gère les lunettes et tout. Si on te prescrit, if you prescribe you reading glasses or viewing glasses, then you have to go see an optician for that. But before going to see an optician, then you have to go see an ophthalmologist. An ophthalmologist. So you have, for the children under 18, under 17, you have what they call a pediatrician, pediatre. A pediatre is a pediatrician. A pediatrician, it's a 4 syllables word, a pediatrician. Okay, someone that has tooth problems, if you have a toothache, they send you to a specialist to go see a dentist, a dentist. Okay, someone that has a heart problem, if you have a heart pain, problème de cœur, de respirer, you go see a cardiologist. Cardiologist. It's a 4 syllables word, a cardiologist. So if you're not feeling well with your heart, you go see a cardiologist. Okay, if you want to do X-rays pour savoir ce qui se passe dans ton corps, à l'intérieur, if you want to do X-rays, and they're called X-rays. If you have to do X-rays, then you have to go see someone called radiologist. A radiologist. C'est quelqu'un qui s'occupe de faire les X-rays. Okay? It's a radiologist. Okay? And if you're looking for, if you're not feeling well in your head and you want to talk to someone, then you have to go see a psychiatre. It's a psychiatrist. A psychiatrist. 3 syllables. A psychiatrist. If you want to talk about your problems. And then if you want to go through surgery, opération, pour subir une opération, peut-être, tu as l'appendice ou à enlever, ou l'accouchement or something, you have to go to a cesarean, undergo a cesarean, you go see a surgeon, chirurgien. Chirurgien, c'est surgeon, a surgeon, okay? And if you have problems with your lungs, vous vous rappelez les parties du corps pour pouvoir respirer et tout, lungs, les poumons, you go see a pulmonologist. A pulmonologist, a 5 syllables word. So if you have lung problems, you see a pulmonologist, okay? And then of course, if you have skin problems, problème de peau, if you have rashes, les boutons partout, rashes or things like that, you have to see a dermatologist. A dermatologist, 5 syllables word. A dermatologist. A dermatologist, c'est quelqu'un qui s'occupe de la peau, your skin, is a dermatologist. You have an anesthesiologist. He s'occupe de l'anesthésie. Anesthesiologist. And of course, a veterinarian. A vet, c'est quelqu'un qui s'occupe des animaux. Have a vet. And then, of course, you have others. Plastic surgeon, quelqu'un qui fait des opérations, pour transformation et tout. Plastic surgeon. And then after, you have all kinds of other people. You have a lab technician. Les gens qui sont dans le laboratoire pour faire les tests, pour prélever les tests, you have a lab technician. You have an administrative assistant. You have a nurse qui est infirmière. you have les aides-soignantes, which are nursing aides. Nursing aides, ce sont les aides-soignantes, nursing aides. So those are some of the workers, or some of the workers that you would find in the medical corps. But then what about equipments? What are some of those equipments that you would, that you see? What are some of the equipments that when you go, you use in the medical corps? A wheelchair, for example, c'est les chaises roulantes. It's a wheelchair. Quelqu'un qui est en chaise roulante is a wheelchair. A walker or crutches, c'est les bâtons qu'on utilise quand on a l'accident. You have a walker. You have crutches. You have injection, qui est piqûre. Injection is piqûre. You have a thermometer, qui est un thermomètre. A thermometer. You have IV, qui est la perfusion. I'm on IV. I took an IV. Ça signifie que j'ai pris une perfusion in vitro. So that I have IV, and you have other things that you see as far as the hospital concerned, or, alcohol, qui est l'alcool pour soigner. You have cotton buds, qui est le coton qu'on utilise. A plaster, s'il y en a des blessures. So there's so many equipments out there in the hospital that you should know at least a basic of it. So when you see it, you would know a syringe, for example, an ointment, une pommade, pills, tablets, qui sont, les petits tablettes, les comprimés, capsules, qui sont les capsules, so there are different stuff, syrup, qui est un sirop, like cough syrup, par exemple, un sirop pour la toux, for example, capsules, tablets, sont les comprimés, tablets, and so they have powder, qui est la poudre. So there are different elements that you can use as far, or you need to learn as far as medical vocabularies are concerned, and hopefully you get to use them, and hopefully now you have an idea as far as health is concerned. Health, c'est la santé. Okay, healthcare, or being good health, c'est avoir une bonne santé, good health. Okay, bonne santé. You now, at the end of this lesson, you've learned what are the questions that you need to ask when you see that someone is not looking good or feeling good, how you should respond if it's you, or what expectations of response that you should be receiving, and what follows after the response, positive or negative, and then of course what we should say at the end. We should speedy recovery, get well soon, hope you feel better, and all that. And then you should be able to identify if you went to the hospital, or if someone should ask you what's wrong. Now, those common things, you should be able to express yourself and actually tell them, or tell whoever is asking the questions what the problem might be, okay? Thank you so much, and please do revisions. Write to me if you have questions, and I'll see you next time. This is Teacher Raisa. Bye.
www.suividecolosenegal.com